Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Canvas Conversations. My guest today is UFC featherweight Jeremy Kennedy. He's currently 3-0 in the UFC, and he'll look to stay undefeated when he takes on Alexander Volkanovski at UFC 221 live in Perth on FS1. How you doing, brother?
I'm doing good, man. Thanks for having me.
Right on. So I got to start. What's on your head, man? Is that a Raiders hat you're sporting right now?
I've been doing a lot of time in Vegas, so I'm starting to. When they make the move there, they got to be my team, man.
Oh no. So I'm born and raised in Denver,
Oh,
Colorado.
okay.
So I don't know if you know the rivalry,
Yeah,
but
that makes more sense now.
I'm a Raider hater. I guess we can continue nonetheless.
Now that we
Nonetheless,
got
I
that
am
out of the way.
excited to have my first Canadian on the show though, so
Yeah.
I wish I could have gotten you to the right American football team, my man.
Sorry, man. A lot of guys
Maybe I'll
actually
try
like the
it.
Seattle Seahawks because they're like pretty much a local team from Vancouver. Just because it's right over the border, but I'm a Raiders guy.
All right, I'll take it. I'll live with it, my man. So how you been, my man?
Good, man. Ready to go. I leave pretty soon in a couple days here. I'm just ready to get this show on the road. It's been a long camp. It's pretty much near the end. The work's pretty much done now. It's just it's just maintenance work and focusing on that weight, and then just the travel, the time change, all that stuff, and it's go time.
Now you were supposed to fight Volkanovski in November. What happened the first time?
I had a bit of a neck injury. It wouldn't let me grapple, so I ended up. I still agreed to the fight, and I was training, doing everything else I could, and then it was getting too close, and I wasn't grappling. I hadn't grappled in 6-7 weeks, and it wasn't smart because it wasn't getting any better, and the doctor's saying you got to take some time off to let it heal. So that's what I had to do. It sucked, but in the long run, here we are, same opponent, same country, bigger card, so it works out.
Yeah, and his stock kind of went up since he had a win since then, so it's like kind of works out to your benefit a
Yeah.
little bit.
I think I got a nice long camp. I never really stopped training. I was doing everything else. I grew a lot in this time since July, since my last fight. So I think it's best case scenario now. I'm matured. His stock went up. We're both 3-0 now. It's not on the main card, which I think's silly, but other than that, it's a huge card now. It's a pay-per-view event, so I can't complain.
Do you feel any more confident being that you've had so much time to get ready for this single opponent, this one opponent?
Yeah, I've kind of had him in my mind the whole time. Like even when I pulled out, I was like, as soon as he gets this, because he had a replacement, and I figured he was going to win that. And even Bandonnet ended up getting injured, so I knew when he had that Shane Young opponent, I was like, man, he's definitely going to win. It's like a given. He got given an opponent. So I had him in my mind. I was like, I'm going to call him out right away. As soon as that fight ended, I messaged Sean Shelby. I was like, let's do it now. Because they announced Perth, I think a week before that event even happened. So I had it all planned out in my head. I was like, as soon as preset text, as soon as he won, bam, send it off to Sean Shelby. And he's like, okay, I like it. And he put it together. So I've had him in my mind since August. And that's why I wanted it, is because I did all my homework on him already. I knew who I was going to bring in. I knew where I was going to do my camp. I knew everything. So, and the chance to go to Australia is going to be pretty cool too.
Absolutely. So you had him in your sights for a while, ever since that fell apart the first time, it sounds like.
Yeah, I was ready to rock as soon as, I wanted to push it back just because of the injury of what it was, just of what the injury was. I was hoping we could push it back to Winnipeg, which was like 4 weeks after the Sydney card. There was a card here in Canada and Winnipeg 4 weeks later. I was like, hey, man, fly that guy out here instead and do it the other way around. But obviously the UFC wanted to keep him out there. And so now here we are.
And you kind of got that nice little roll going where you're going into other guys' hometown
Exactly.
and scoring the win, right? So
yeah, that's why I'm kind of almost making it like a trademark. I'm the hometown killer here. Go
exactly.
to Brazil, go to the States, and Australia, and then wherever next. I'm okay. I like the UFC knowing that they could come to me to. A lot of guys don't like leaving their home country or complain about it and whatnot, and I'm all for it. I'll go anywhere.
Speaking of that, and like you said earlier, you've made the move to Vegas. How much has that helped you being at the PI and getting all the training there and all the benefits from the facility?
Oh, it's huge. Like it's just the resources in Vegas are unlimited. You got so many different gyms that the PI. That's the one thing it doesn't have, right? Like a MMA gym and training partners. But you've got that down the road. Like 10 minutes down the road is Syndicate, and 10 minutes down the road, a little bit farther, is Extreme Couture. And that's where I did a lot of my training, was Extreme. Then there's a lot of jiu-jitsu gyms around, boxing gyms. I was going to Roy Jones Jr. gym and stuff like that. And then you go back in, like, the PI is like your home base. You get the meals, the recovery, the physical therapy, the strength and conditioning, everything there. So I would kind of spend my mornings, afternoons, and nights there, and just leave to go train and come back. I would leave my house in the morning and not go back till night. Just spend the whole day there.
That just makes it all so easy and convenient.
Exactly. Everything's like, very minimal driving.
Yeah, less to think about too, easier to focus on the training.
Absolutely.
So, who are some of your regular training partners throughout the camp? Were you able to bring anybody into Vegas, or did you rely strictly on those guys that were at Couture and kind of lingering around the PI?
Yeah, no, I brought a kid in from Windsor, Ontario. TJ Laramie. He's the
Oh, yeah, of course.
Yeah, he's TKO 145 champ, and he fights very similar to Alex. We got that same build, real short, stocky. It's hard to find a guy 5'5", 5'6", that heavy. Most guys are 35ers. So it was nice to have another 45er at that size. And he was getting ready for his fight. It got pushed back, but at the time it was 2 weeks after mine. So he gave me good rounds in the gym, good look. Pushed the pace. Tried to wrestle me and stuff like that, and it was good. I spent a lot of time with him, and still mixed it in with the guys down in Vegas. I would find guys that I liked, the size wise. I'm really big on body types. I like to, if I'm facing a short guy, especially me being a taller 45er, I want to be going with all our short guys. Because it's punching down. I gotta tuck my chin a little bit more. You strike completely different. You grapple completely different, rather than facing some dude who's I'm looking up at. It's completely different. So I was just mostly finding the shorter, stockier, thicker guys to go with. But I had TJ, and he came back to Vancouver with me, and stayed with me here for another week. And so it's been good.
Perfect. Every camp has a little bit of a bump in the road, it seems like, for most fighters, but it seems like this has been pretty smooth for you. Did you have to overcome anything?
No, little things, little hassles, little stresses, like getting my medicals done in Vegas was a little bit of like a headache, because I have all my home doctors and blood work and everything out here. So it's just a little different there. And, man, other than that, I can't think of, everything went pretty smooth, aside from, it's, I'll have no excuses going over there. I've took no shortcuts, no stone left unturned. I've done everything I had to. I've invested a lot of money in this because I just believe in myself, and I didn't want to make any shortcuts. I didn't want to get to Australia and be like, oh, I should have done this. I should have done this. Or what if I just did this a little bit more? So when it came to, bringing TJ even back home, because I liked the training so much with him, I was like, because he was going to fly back in Vegas, I didn't like it. I was like, come on back with me, finish up the camp, and I paid for his flight out here and everything like that, everything when he was here. It was just, it's worth it because at the end of the day, the money's not really what I'm doing this for, and this one fight I'm not trying to cash out on, it's an investment into the next 5-10 of them,
Absolutely. Absolutely. So you and Alexander both have the exciting fighting styles, and styles make the matchups. Do you feel like you guys could walk out of there with a bonus?
Oh, I hope so, man. I think he's a guy that we're going to kind of nullify each other in what he likes to do. I got to make him fight differently, and vice versa. I can't go out there and score 8 takedowns like I did my last, 2 fights. He's a good wrestler himself. So it's I'm gonna have to beat it out of him in a sense, where I gotta convince him on the feet. I gotta outstrike him, and if I like it there, I'm gonna keep it there the whole time and stuff his shots and hurt him up on the cage when he's trying to take me down and stuff like that. And just the war of attrition. Make sure I'm in shape to be able to win all these little battles from the first round to the third. And I hope he's doing the same, because if not, he's gonna he'll have some regrets for sure.
So if everything goes according to plan, you're 4-0 in the UFC, undefeated. That's got to put you in a pretty good spot in the division.
Yeah.
Well, who do you think's next? Do you have anybody you're eyeing?
I got some guys, but I wanna wait till I get that W before I start saying anybody's names. But I've been watching a lot of guys. There's a lot of big fights that just happened recently that make a lot of sense for me, that are looking up the ladder and towards the top, the top 15. And the big thing is getting on Sean Shelby and, renegotiating that contract when I'm 4-0. That's money talks at this point.
Absolutely. Is your contract up after this fight?
Yeah, there's a 4-fight.
Okay.
And, this is the number 4.
So this is a big one for you then.
Yeah, it's pretty good here. I would rather go 4-0. That looks a lot prettier than 3-1. So that's the motivation.
Put a little stamp on it, right?
Exactly, bam. Especially with the finish. Ooh, now they're talking.
There you go. So, my man, any final thoughts before you get in there?
Oh, man, I want to fast forward. I wish there was a fast forward button, pass all this starving and pass all this flights and travel and all that bullshit and get ready to go. I just want to step on that scale, face off, stare him down, get a good night's sleep, whoop some ass, spend some few days on the beach, and then the rest is history.
Awesome. Do you have any plans besides maybe chilling on the beach?
No, yeah, my brother's baby's due the day after my fight, actually, so we're not sticking around too much. It would have been nice to make a little trip out of it, but I'd rather come home and be home for that. So, we're about 2 days after the fight, and then we're going to fly back, and hopefully he's there for me.
Back home to Canada, right? Not Las Vegas, right?
Yeah, back home to Canada.
Awesome, man. Awesome. Well, brother, I appreciate you coming on. It was good to talk to you, get to know you a little bit. I appreciate you giving me some of your time tonight.
Appreciate it, man. Thanks for having me.
All right, guys, be sure to tune in UFC 221, the prelims on Saturday, February 10th. Watch Jeremy Kennedy. He's going to be taking on Alexander Volkanovski live on FS1.